I accidentally stumbled onto Yorkshire's Nudist beach. I was not prepared for what I saw. Welcome back, my friends, to the Beastologist Walks, a video series where I walk 10,000 miles around the edge of the coast of Britain. A quick recap for all the new viewers. I've never hiked, I've never thought about hiking, and I have no idea what I'm doing. One day, I saw a BBC News report that said it was possible to walk all the way around the edge of the coast of Britain, and I thought to myself, yeah, I'll do that. 10 minutes later, I left the house with a bottle of water and my flip-flops. An hour later, I was at the Humber Bridge, the official start of my journey. Today, I'm hiking from Hornsea, East Yorkshire, north for about 15 miles to Bridlington, East Yorkshire. Later in this video, I'm going to walk through a nudist beach. I didn't know it was there. I didn't know Yorkshire had one. Honestly, I assumed it would be, too cold. But I wasn't going to let a naturist beach stop me walking around the coast of Britain. I was fully prepared to strip off and walk through if that's what it took. Anyway, if you're here for the nudity, I'm going to disappoint you. There was no one else on the beach, so I didn't need to. So right, let's start in Hornsea. We're starting today at the marker for the eastern end of the Transpennine Trail, a route that runs all the way to Liverpool and at one point, about halfway along it, goes straight through my back garden. I'm not going to say much about Hornsea itself. That was all covered in my last video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out after you've seen this one. The path north hugs the cliff edge. This bit of coast is some of the fastest erosion in Europe, so the ground I'm walking on now might not be here in a few decades. Just north of Hornsea, the cliff has collapsed, so there's no path along the edge anymore. Instead, I followed the King Charles coastal walk markers, which took me up what I genuinely thought was a housing estate, until I ended up on a private road. Then I saw the gates. Large, black, metal, electric. I fully expected to have to turn back and do a massive detour round. Turns out the public footpath just runs straight through. They allow access, so I just walked right through. There was this little path down to the beach with a handrail made from old rope, which I thought was pretty cool. First stop, Atwick. There's a trig point just off the path, one of the concrete pillars the Ordnance Survey used to map out the whole country back in the day. I always stop for these. No real reason, just interests me. This one looks like they've had to dig it up and move it because of the coastal erosion. Other than that, I just breezed past Atwick. Then it was Skirlington. Not really a village anymore, I don't think at least. Just a few caravan sites. The public footpath runs straight through both. It did annoy me that between this one, Skirlington Coast, and next door, Havens Grange, one of the sites has padlocked the gates. Naughty, naughty. For me, this worked out great. A quick detour back to the road, and I stumbled past Mr. Moos Ice Cream Parlour. It's 30 degrees today, a proper British heatwave, so I stopped here for half an hour. Lots of different flavours, a really nice treat. There's also a full cafe, car park and toilets. Dogs are welcome, and they have ice cream for them too. It's attached to its own caravan site and has a signed walkthrough, which I took to the beach, to Moos Beach. On this stretch, I think I actually saw Mr. Moo and his herd of cows. It's pretty cool to see the cows where your ice cream comes from, right next door to the cafe you're eating it in. Now, before I continue, I need your help. So far, I've found 30 subscribers. That's 29 more than I thought I'd ever get. But I'd like to grow this channel all the way up to 40 people. So if you're enjoying this video and haven't already, please like it and subscribe. It really does help. Now back to the video. Out at sea, the whole way up the coast, we keep catching these big splashes, too far out to properly identify, and I don't have a massive zoom lens. My best guess is bottlenose dolphins, humpback whales or minke whales. All have been reported along this stretch of coast this summer. Worth keeping an eye on the water for the rest of this walk. Next up is Skipsea. I skipped it. I did take a detour to Skipsea Castle today, and was almost trampled by cows, but I've made that into a separate video. So for this one, it's just a straight walk through. From Skipsea, it's on to Ulrome, then Barmston. Quiet stretches, mostly caravan parks, an open beach. Nothing dramatic, just miles of coastline underfoot. More splashes out at sea along here too. This is it, Fraisthorpe. This stretch of beach has been used by naturists on and off since the 1970s. It's not an official nudist beach anymore. The council pulled that designation decades ago. But naturists still use it, quietly, and nobody bothers them. I didn't know any of this until I got here. I thought I was walking along a normal beach, until I saw the red spray paint on a disused World War II defence. As promised, I was fully prepared to strip off if that's what it took to walk through. Turns out, no one else was here today, so I didn't need to. Sorry to disappoint anyone who clicked for that reason. Just north of Fraisthorpe is Wilsthorpe, another quiet stretch before things start to build up again ahead of Bridlington. Lots of small boat launching around here. Before the last stretch into Bridlington, if you want to see where this coastal walk ends up, and you're not already subscribed, now's a good time. It also just really helps. I've got a long way to go on this hike, and I need you here to help me along. This is the longest hike I've done in one go, and I'm feeling it. My plan was to just stick to 10 miles, but mid-walk, I decided I really wanted to get to Bridlington. What's worse, my phone died on the walk. I don't know why, but it's because my memory was full. Instead of moving last week's files, I copied them by mistake. If you watch the uncut footage, there's lots of cuts. That's because the camera kept shutting itself down. So I switched to my backup phone. The quality of my video isn't the best to begin with, but you can see a noticeable drop in the quality from here out. Last leg of the day, into Bridlington. I picked up the land train at the park and ride and rode it for about half a mile along the seafront. There are no rules to this, so I say it doesn't count as cheating. It's not a real train, I was tired, and it looked pretty fun. From where it dropped me, it was a short walk to the end of the harbour, and that's where today's leg finishes. I then spent a couple of quid on a crab line and went crab fishing for the rest of the day. That's Hornsea to Bridlington done. 15 miles, 1 trig point, 1 ice cream, a lot of mysterious splashes out at sea, and a nudist beach I didn't know was coming. Next time, we're carrying on up the coast. From here, I can see the next part looks like a big white cliff. I'm excited to see what happens. Now it's your turn. Have you done this hike? Have you visited any of these places? What did I miss? Maybe you're one of the naturists who use the beach. I'd love to hear from you all in the comments. See you next time.